Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chicks and Salsa tonight. Let's do a little salsa, right, ladies? How's everybody's week going so far, ladies?
So
Well, Don,
far, so good.
I was gonna say, Don, tell us about your week because mine's the same, the same song, different week. I don't
Oh,
know.
you know what? This week, I am just happy that my team won. So that's all. So yes. So I mean because we were struggling the last couple of weeks. So it's a good week.
It's a good week. It is a really good week, and I am so glad that we have half of our speedsters back. We'll discuss that in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, so the week did not start out as nice for me, but we'll get into that, like you said, in a little bit. Although I have to say, so it depends on when you say the week starts. Does the week start on Sunday or on Monday or whatever? Because on Sunday, my Milwaukee Brewers hit a franchise record wins for the year with their 97th win of the season. So
Nice.
best record in baseball. I can't really argue. Like on that front, like on the baseball side of things, things are going really good right now. We'll get into the other side of things later.
Yes.
We'll discuss more in a minute.
Yeah, yeah, but it's playoff baseball time. I mean, let's face it. Tomorrow's October. Boys of October
Tomorrow's October.
is so. They started their wild card series. So it's a series best of 3 games. Started today. Tigers versus Guardians was the first game at 1 o'clock today. Tigers won, took it 2-1. Then we had the Cubs versus the Padres. The Cubs took this game 3-1. Right now, if you're watching, it's Yankees versus Red Sox. Yankees are up 1-0 in the top of the sixth. And then later tonight, we have Dodgers versus Reds at 9 p.m. Whew.
That's a late game.
Well, it's because they're putting them all separate. They want everybody
Right.
to watch all of them, and it's at the Dodgers, so it's over on
Correct.
the coast. So
Right. So
it
it's
makes
7 o'clock there. So
We
yeah,
can't we can't be mad about that though. I like that they're trying to make sure that instead of stacking your games on top of each other, that spread out.
that's
Um,
true. I like that.
I do like that.
I do like
Um,
it, except for those of us that work a 1 o'clock game in the afternoon. It is what it is.
All the
that's where you
people who
hope that you
miss
can get
work.
at least updates.
All
Exactly.
the people who miss work to go to the game. That's what happens.
Right. So, question: how do we feel that the Mets, with their super payroll, are now? Candy, I'm with you. I'm really trying. See, look at me trying to be very diplomatic about this. The Mets with their super payroll on their way to Cancun.
I love it.
I mean, I can't say what we say about the Mets, but yes, uh, it is no sad story to me. But I, and didn't they have someone that? Pardon me, guys. I should have looked at this. There was someone that's now not going to sign a deal and going into free agency from the Mets because he no longer wants to be there. He wants to see what options are out there. I saw that through
Oh
my
wait,
feeds.
I missed that.
There was something in the feeds that is like they were because he no longer wants to be there. He's going to explore options or see what options are available to him to see if he wants to still be there. And I cannot remember who it is.
I know Pete Alonso. Right after they were
That's who it was.
said he's
Okay.
becoming free agent and wants to test it.
Okay.
He wants to explore free agency to see what his next move is. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you. Because I was like, I can see most of his face. I can see the announcement. I can't pull a name out of the air.
See, you got your
That's
baseball
the
girl right
story of my life. I cannot pull a name out. Story of my life.
You remember that guy? He was the one that played Where's the Ball Cap? And yeah.
Yeah, that's my explanation to everybody. You know that one? Yeah.
Don, you and I are so alike. It's not even funny.
Exactly.
You guys are too cute. You guys are too cute. Too cute.
Oh. Well, I mean, my cards went home, so it gives me great joy to know the Mets are
Yeah. My
and
Royals went home.
my adopted team, just because of Schwarber, I'm going to root for them. So just putting
Well,
that out
neither
there.
one of mine are in. The Braves aren't in, and um, and the Royals. So
Yeah.
there goes.
Well, but I have to say, and if I don't know if I can even remember which three it is, but there are three teams that have never won the World Series that are in the playoffs. I mean, I know the Brewers are one. I know
You posted that. Let me go look it up real quick.
never won. And is it
It's San Diego,
San Diego,
Seattle.
Seattle, and the Brewers?
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we're gonna have a Cinderella team in there.
Let's hope so. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm only
'Cause-
behind the Brewers on those. The other two, I don't really care if what they get out of this. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I just out of curiosity, just going a little bit further, if we're talking about the playoff teams and their seeds, I want to talk a little bit about their payrolls because there's a vast difference. So
Yes.
obviously the Dodgers have the highest payroll at almost $350 million. Okay, the lowest one in there is the Cleveland Guardians, and their payroll is 100 million. So that's a
That's a
huge, huge
That's
a
a
big disparity.
huge difference. Huge.
yes,
So
yes.
for that, you kind of want to root for the Guardians a little bit, but then I can't.
Well,
I mean, they're in
Phillies
Cleveland,
are
so I
only
mean,
117 million, so it's not like they're that far behind the.
Megan's here, our
Hey,
Queen of
Megan.
Beauty. Yay!
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good.
Well, we're doing good because we're talking baseball right now, so I'm still in my happy state.
Absolutely. So, speaking of baseball, there are three teams that have never won that have made the postseason now. So you got the Mariners, the Brewers, and who's the other team? I'm trying to
San
remember.
Diego.
San Diego. We were just
San
talking
Diego.
about it.
We
Yep.
just need to
Okay,
talk
so
about that. Yep.
I would love to, and just as somebody who's had the opportunity to see their team win their very first championship, and just what I had going on in life at the time, uh, seeing the Rangers win their first championship in 2023 meant so much to me. So I hope that that happens for one of the teams that is going into the postseason. I wouldn't mind if it was the Brewers and the Mariners World Series. That would be amazing.
Would be cool.
I said the only one I care about that I'm going to root for is the Brewers. Beyond that, probably don't really have a lot of
I love the
blood
sport.
to pass along.
I don't mind the Phillies. I think they have a lot of likable players, so there's not. I definitely don't feel like negative about them if they were to win. But it
True.
was really amazing to see the Rangers win, and like they had never won before. So I would love for another team to be able to experience that.
Right.
Even though the Mariners are a divisional rival of the Rangers, I think they're rather likable as well. Their catcher seems like such a nice guy. And then they had, what did he have, 60 or 61 home runs? He was the first catcher to ever do that. So it's been a really exciting MLB season. So Candy, I absolutely understand why you're excited. And y'all set a franchise record for the most wins y'all have ever had.
Yes, 97.
So
And just to your point, Megan, on Cal Raleigh, he finished with two different stats that have never happened or haven't happened in a long time. For a catch, he ended the season with 0 passed balls. 0.
oh wow,
Oh wow.
that's
That is.
incredible.
Mm-hmm. And to your point though, Megan, the only reason why I would not root for the Phillies is because they're fourth on the payroll. Like I want one of the teams, the smaller
Well, I mean,
market, less payroll. Like, you can
when
do
you
it
got
with.
Schwarbs,
I mean, just saying.
You know what? I can't. I understand what you're saying because I love organically grown programs like that. As a Spurs fan, that's just kind of the way we do things in general. But I can't say that for the Rangers because we spent $500 million on Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, and it was worth every penny.
did you all know this is the first season that there was 0 no hitters?
Also, there were no 100-win teams this year.
Right. Right.
That's kind
So
of crazy too.
That is real
Right.
crazy.
Very interesting season. I know the Orioles had back-to-back 100-win seasons a couple of seasons ago, and it didn't equate to any postseason success either. So not necessarily that you want to peter out during the regular season, but I just thought it was interesting that there was no 100-win teams this year. And also, the teams that we thought were going to be incredibly dominant, while they may have made the postseason, I'm talking about you Dodgers and Yankees, it doesn't feel the same as it did, let's say, the first month and a half, 2 months into the season, because they look so dominant.
Right. Right.
My
Yes,
apologies, friends.
oh, no problem. For me, it was kind of tough. We lost Popovich for the Spurs, and then also Bruce Bochy and the Rangers parted ways yesterday mutually. There's a chance that he could stay on staff and be a special advisor with the front office. Or there's several coaching vacancies as well. So his former team, they have a coaching availability right now, I believe San Francisco. So I hate to see him go, but he came out of retirement for us and we won a championship. So what can I say? Like, that's incredible. So
Well,
I
you'll
kind of
always
hope
be,
he retires.
you'll be always
I
tied to him
kind of,
because of your championship. Sorry.
oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Mhm.
never think about him any other way because he got us a championship. Bruce used to be a catcher, and you can tell by the way he walks. And so obviously he has a really tough time getting around. If you don't use it, you lose it. So obviously I'm sure he wants to stay active, but maybe it's time to hang it up. I can respect it. I don't know who I want us to be our skipper, though. I'm at a loss.
Yeah, I'd have to think about who's out there that's available too. That would be a good match.
I don't, I'm going to have to put some thought into it. Not that, they're calling me up like, hey, Megan, who should the skipper be? But.
Well, you never know. You never know.
That call,
Right.
They may see this podcast and go, wait, let's call her.
They might. I have heard many people plenty of times that ask about Chicks and Salsa and Three Chicks and a Wine. You'd be surprised how many people actually watch. So yeah, you know what? They might call me up sometime.
Well, 25 live right now watching us, so you never know.
Right.
Hey, I have, when I was on my cruise, I did tell people they would start talking sports, and I'd be like, yeah, you need to check in with us. We're the scoop. We're the scoop. We're the scoop. So you never really know who's out there watching.
You never know.
Right.
So Kelsey Brothers, hook us up. I mean, if you're listening.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Well, so it was a super interesting day in the sports world. So it started out. Are we doing my segment now, or do we want to wait till the end for that one?
Keep going.
Go for it.
So it started out as, and I don't want to say that it was ending in a bad way, but it definitely ended with controversy in the WNBA world. So it started with a media rights deal for USA to be showing 50 games for the next WNBA season. That's really exciting. Currently, the WNBA season is 44 games. So obviously, they won't be showing all the games for every team, but 50 games, that's a real solid amount. And about 20 minutes later, we got the exit interview from Nafisa Collier. And I just want to say I respect her so much for going out and not only speaking the truth and calling out the wrong, but she didn't dance around it with her verbiage either. She was very honest. She was upfront. And it didn't seem that she was allowing the higher ups to dictate what she had to say. And I really, really appreciate that, especially just, a woman in the sports world. It can be hard to be heard. And that she's going to get a ton of criticism. She called out the league commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, on several different aspects. First, to start with officiating. And I know there were I've seen several criticisms about she didn't care about officiating until what happened with her injury in Game 3. However, this conversation between her and Kathy happened in February during Unrivaled. And so that was definitely before she was injured. One thing I will also say is that you haven't heard Kathy dispute what Nafisa Collier had to say. In her
Not at
statement, she
all.
said, no. And I don't think Nafisa Collier's in the position to lie because she can be sued for defamation if that's the case. So, you know what, I'm not saying ultimately everything that she's saying is the truth, but if it's not, she'll be held accountable. And it didn't seem like she was scared of that. So to me, that says she's telling the truth. She also made comments about Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers and Angel Reese. She said that fan base brings a lot and they should be making more in their rookie contracts than what they're making, because those ladies are making about 67,000 a year in their first rookie contract, and they're under those contracts for 4 years. So there were several areas that she addressed here. She claims that Kathy Engelbert said that the only people that complain about officiating are losers. That is incredibly disrespectful. I think the ladies in the WNBA understand how mathematics work, and they understand that a product has to make money in order for the rest of them to make money as well. However, the rate in which they are willing to distribute the new media rights deals that they have brokered. So they brokered one this last season that will start on the upcoming season, and then also the one with USA that they made public today. So they're not distributing the money in a way that is appropriate to the ladies that run their league. I ask you this: can the league find another commissioner, or can they find 200 more athletes with built-in fan bases? Which one of those is more likely?
I think that the commissioner's statement, I made this comment offline. I think that is someone that's desperately trying to keep their job, as opposed to, I think that we're looking at new leadership. Maybe it's time for new leadership. Maybe it's a time for a fresh breath. Listening to the press conference, I just could, I personally can relate to what she was saying is, your leadership can either make or break you. And currently there is a big discourse between the two. And, if you're wanting to grow a league, if you're wanting to keep building on the success, there can't be that big of a discourse. There cannot be. And the fact that personal experience, when someone in leadership reaches out to you and it's on a personal level, and I'm sorry, I offer you support, offer you the human aspect of life. That's impactful.
Absolutely.
It's impactful when it's not there too. And with the report that she hasn't reached out to those that injured in the league, that's kind of, why not? That's your bread and butter that's sitting on the sidelines. Why aren't you at least reaching out and saying, what is it that, I see you, I'm sorry, we're here, whatever. That speaks bigger volumes on a human level as opposed to a league. But you're trying to grow a league. You're trying to get these people to stay committed to you. You're now having to go against Unrivaled. What else? You've got a lot of things out there that are excelling. You better be taking and keeping pace with that.
I also think it's worth noting that when you bring up the human aspect of it, that Elena Delle Donne also chimed in on this in support with Nafisa Collier and said that Kathy may not even know that she's retired because she's heard from everybody but her. And while I am a fan of Caitlin Clark, before Caitlin Clark, the best shooter we ever seen in the game was Elena Delle Donne. She gave you every bit of her on that court. She played with residual Lyme disease since she was in high school. Y'all tried not to pay her during COVID, told her she couldn't play, which it was a liability at the time. I definitely don't want to argue any of that. However, y'all were going to leave her without pay, and her team paid her outside of you guys. So I'm inclined to believe what Elena has to say as well. So an incredibly serious topic. It definitely looks like lockout is imminent. I don't know if we get a longer Unrivaled season because of that. I don't know if we see Unrivaled go to 5-on-5 anytime soon. But I know that Unrivaled is paying these ladies comparable, if not better, money in year one, season one. Not year one, because obviously a business starts before the first time that they open. So we've known about Unrivaled about 18 months before the first season. So at least 2.5 years of being in existence. And they're already paying the ladies just as much for an 8-week league, 3-on-3 league.
That speaks volumes.
Yes.
You know, something that we were talking about this morning on the radio show, which if you guys had a chance to check out my last show on 806 Sports, I really appreciate y'all and all the time that you've given me and support there. The way that they marketed with Unrivaled was incredible. So do y'all know what arena that Unrivaled plays in? It's in the Wayfair Arena. That's their top sponsor. Who watches women's basketball? Women.
Women.
People that buy home goods. What does Wayfair sell? Home goods.
Everything.
Goods.
Right?
Yeah.
It's perfect marketing right there. Then you have Sephora is a major sponsor for them as well. So imagine that, a women's league with a makeup sponsor. Like, they have shown you, they've given you the blueprint of what's possible and how you can run your league, how you can respect not only your employees, but your athletes and those that are at the top as well. And then you can profit share with them as well.
As it should be.
Right. So
especially those that are helping build this. I mean, I get it, but they should be given. I mean, honestly, the profit sharing should come in as a bonus for those that are there, even those that have retired in the last 2 years, as they have helped the, as the increase has been there. There should be some acknowledgement of those that are even not playing on the field or on the court right now for what they brought to the sport and help propel it forward.
I completely agree with that. And just I want to chime in on one little part there, because y'all know I'm a little critical of the Corn people, the Caitlin Clark fans, with their ridiculousness. And you can go ahead and throw the Reese's Pieces in there too, because they do some crazy stuff as well. But Caitlin Clark's platform, which apparently Kathy commented that Caitlin should be grateful for her platform outside of the W, or else she wouldn't have a platform. Caitlin Clark's platform started in NCAA, to be perfectly honest. She built that. Those endorsements came in before the WNBA. She earned every bit of that before she even stepped a foot on a W court. So, yeah, I don't know about those types of statements right there. And Angel Reese is somebody who, despite making less than $70,000 a year, has clocked all kinds of money this last year. They've thrown all kinds of terrible things at her. Me Bounds, she turned it into a positive thing. She branded it. The pink shoes that she has, that's the color that they are, Me Bounds. So that's somebody that has alchemized the hate where you have not protected these ladies. And has turned it into something positive. So I definitely think that the league is outgrowing its leadership, and it is time for a change. We're seeing all kinds of people that are chiming in with support as well. Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Indiana Pacers, tweeted out today his support of Stephanie White. Stephanie White was fined. Her and Becky Hammon were fined for saying that they agreed with Cheryl Reeves and what she said in her post-game press conference, which was one of the infractions that she got fined for. So I love to see how these ladies and the others that are supporting them come together on this. And if you're in the league office, it's bad right now. It's all bad.
I wouldn't want to be part of that league office at this point, because it's a bad look. I mean, we're talking women for women's sports. Like, how do you not be a proponent of supporting the women that are helping you, grow your league? I mean,
and defend. I mean, the leadership is not standing behind them at all. And when things are said in the public, they're not stepping up and defending them at all.
Correct. There's something that can be said, and this isn't every single time, but a lot of time, even for us regular people, they're making under $70,000 a year. when you quit a job, a lot of times you quit a boss. And that's just a fact. It's not always the case in every situation. Sometimes you move up, sometimes you move on, but most of the times when I moved on from a job, unexpectedly, it was because of a boss. Now, if I planned for something and I put in the work to move on, that was probably not the case. But if I just up and quit, it was because I quit a boss and it wasn't going well. So I think that this is a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens to the league and if the league is smart enough to take note and make changes.
And also, one last note on that, the W is a international heavy league. And there has been criticism from the international players for quite some time. Gabby Williams for the Seattle Storm, she's a French national player. She was not allowed to play for the first half of the season last year, and there were contract disputes. Emma Miesemann said the same thing. She only played half this year, and there were issues with that as well. So when they have other options, they will go elsewhere, especially if they're going to be treated better.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Yeah, it is.
Well, this is a
But
developing thing, and y'all know us chicks. We're going to make sure that we keep on top and bringing it to you, one way or the other.
have we done an NFL update? Are we going to talk about the Packers and the Cowboys and that
Yeah,
pointless
that's
Sunday night football game?
Okay, you guys, but before we do that, did anybody hear the news about EA Sports getting bought out?
I did see that. I
Did
didn't.
not.
Yeah, so there is a Saudi company that, with a couple of other companies, are buying EA Sports for, I want to say like 55 million or something. No,
No,
55 billion.
that's
55
it.
billion. Here's the thing, because there's Sims, but there's also Madden. And so
Oh,
now there's the big thing about how much of control is the NFL going to have with them buying Madden. And how is that? I mean, and how is that what's gonna happen with the future of Madden when it comes to football? Because I mean, hey, we're gonna have a new one come out next year.
that's
Or are
interesting.
we?
That's real interesting.
Or are we? Yeah, that's gonna be very, very interesting that now there's a company outside of the US who's gonna own the Madden brand, which is really gonna be really strange.
Very strange.
It is going to be strange, and I wonder why that has come about, because this isn't the first place that we're seeing that happen. I think the first place we really started to see an influx of Saudi money was Live, and in the golf world. And while I understand the questions about the morality of, like, where does this money come from? Where is all this money coming from? Is it ethically sourced, basically? And however, I do think that it has brought up a good question mark, because did you know everybody in the PGA pays for everything themselves? All their
Yes.
insurance, all their travel money,
Yes.
everything they pay for
Yes.
themselves, their health
Correct.
insurance, all that. And so Live treats their players a little bit better, and I think that the PGA needs to reform that as well.
Can we put it out there that the 3 chicks in a pod and chicks in salsa would
We're calling for reform.
we're calling
Yes.
for reform, but I'm also
Yes.
thinking, how do we get at least some of the money?
Oh. Well,
I like the
Carrie,
way
I
you
think
think.
at this point we're probably gonna have to play golf so that we can have golf carts taking us around.
Okay, well, I just need to up my golf game. So hey,
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Don, I don't know if I told you guys this or not. I won a golf tournament when I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
That's very cool.
Got second
Sweet.
place.
Nice. Well,
There
I
was
have golf lesson
2
tomorrow
people in my
morning. So
category.
So there's 2
Love
people in my
it, love
category.
it.
And I shot 138 on 18 holes.
All right.
so
Oh,
tomorrow
I don't know
I'm
much about golf,
sure
but I know
I'm
that's a
gonna
lot.
be I'm sure tomorrow at my lesson, I'm going to have, I had a golf pro who was one of my clients, and he said you have more bad days than good days. So I'm sure I'm wishing for a good day tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
When
Yeah.
did you start playing golf? When did you pick it up?
I picked up golf in 1993 when I
Okay.
moved to Phoenix. And then played for a while, then I stopped. It was one of those stop start kind of things. And then a year, I wouldn't say a year ago. I'd say a year ago, I got really serious about it. Because then I started
Okay.
traveling and I would go and we'd start going to golf courses. And then we had a membership and we had these rounds of golf. And it was like, I'm driving the cart and not really playing. And I'm like, I'm paying for this. Like, I'm
Right.
paying for to be here and to play. And so I was like, I'm gonna be serious. I'm an empty nester. I don't have to worry about any of that. So yeah, so now
There's
my presents to myself are like different golf clubs that I want. So, like tailor made, there is a putter. If you want to, share it out, I want that one. But then I found out that because of my age, I need senior golf clubs.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's a positive. That could be a positive thing, because it gives you a little leeway. The
It
tees
gives
are
me
what,
a little
shorter, or are they
leeway.
taller? Gives you a little
They're
leeway.
um they're they're lighter. That's what it
Oh,
is. They're lighter so that
okay.
you don't have the strain on your body. They're lighter. So
Okay.
yeah, I know.
There are some benefits to getting older.
There are,
The
yes.
price of my hair appointments is not one of them.
Mine either.
I need to do my roots really bad. Please, y'all don't
That's
say
like,
anything. I
well,
have
now
not had
we
any
feel
time.
I
exposed.
need I need mine too. Don't nobody say anything. Yes, yes.
don't
You can
look,
see
don't
the
look.
gray.
Hey,
You can see the gray. Don't nobody say
no, 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 no.
anything.
They identify as sparklers.
Yes, I have sparkles. I have sparkles. I have wisdom
I like that.
sparkles.
Absolutely. You want to talk about the
You,
Ryder Cup since we got into golf real quick, and then we can go back to NFL.
I was surprised. I was really surprised of the outcome. So no, I really don't. Cause yeah, no, I was
I'll
not.
add a little bit there. I didn't appreciate the American fan reactions to the Europeans. If you want the
Yes,
Americans to win a tournament, they need to play better, not you criticizing the Europeans in that way. They won the tournament. They won the tournament last year, and they deserve every bit of that. They do not deserve what they were given by those fans. That was terrible, and they don't speak for all Americans.
I. So I have a different outlook. Not a different outlook, but I have the outlook that a lot of times when I have went to sporting events outside the U.S. and then I'm here, and of course, this is where I'm from, so I know, the character. I know how people in the US act when it comes to sports,
Hmm.
but we look really bad a lot of times. And when it's not us winning,
Hmm.
our anger about not winning is embarrassing. It
I
is
agree.
really, really embarrassing. And that's part of my thing. That's why I said I really didn't want to talk about it a whole lot because we looked horrible the way
Hmm.
people acted. Like that
Agree.
it was really sad. Like this person does this every single day, all day long. Anybody who is at Ryder Cup, first of all, deserves to be there. Hands down, they deserve to be there. They've worked to be there. They've put in the hours. And anybody who plays golf knows it is not easy at
Right. Oh
all,
yeah.
period.
No.
And so to treat somebody, to act like that when somebody deserved to win was just beyond me.
Well, and what's worse is what's coming out how they treated his wife, not even somebody
Yes.
that was competing. Like that's just uncalled for, unheard of. Stop now. Like
Yes. Yes. Yes.
there's no
And
excuse.
and and so that's I mean, here's my idea of different sports being different places. Um we've got to get better at how we present ourselves at events. We've got to get better at how We treat people when they're there, not only the fans, but the participants of those sports. We've got to get better at that. And, for somebody who lives in a place where we're going to have um, soccer, we're going to have FIFA, and that's in all these different cities, and a few of the cities, they're not used to large sporting events. They're used to
Right.
just a regular football game, but like being on the big stage is totally different than just having a game on Sunday or Thursday night.
Right.
It's totally different, and for it to be over multiple days, we got to get better. Our just overall, the cities have got to start treating people better. There's no reason why they came to New York, they're at Ryder Cup, and them and their spouses are treated the way they are.
Yeah, it was
Well,
That
terrible.
is
It was really, really
unexcusable.
terrible. It
well,
is.
Unexcusable.
we can even talk about bad fans because we've seen in 2 leagues in the last month where sadly it's women behaving badly and
Mhm.
taking things. The
Right.
Philly
Yeah.
Karen that went
With her
lost
Karen
her.
hair.
Yeah, for real. I mean, seriously. And
I'm
then turn
sorry.
around and the same thing happened in at the game between the Giants and the Chiefs when
Oh,
Patrick gave had eye contact with the kiddo. And she yanked it was a Giants fan that yanked that out of, and then only after she's been shamed in multiple ways,
Does she? Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
well, I thought it was for me.
Okay, so as a
No.
Mahomes fan, first of all, everybody knows that Patrick Mahomes signs for kids. Don't
Yes.
ever
right.
get it
Yeah.
twisted. If you get something from him that's signed, take it as a blessing because he's not signing. He makes sure. So you knew that wasn't for you because everybody knows
Right.
he's all about signing for kids, period, hands down. And I've been at training camp and other places with not just the Chiefs, but others. Those players are signing for kids.
Right. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I've been,
As it should be.
spring training, everything. It is kids first. So why are you as a grown woman thinking that was about you?
Mm.
She
Ladies,
needs
Yeah.
a
I think
woodshed
Yeah.
we're
moment.
going on this topic, and Megan, I would love to keep talking to you about what transposed, but I need to go to my other show.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. What time did we do this again?
Yeah,
We did.
We did it
we did.
again.
That's okay. That's okay. You guys keep
Okay,
talking.
so let's do
I'll
our
see everybody.
NFL for like just a few minutes and then
Yes.
we'll yes.
Yep. You guys go. Thank you.
Okay.
Love to you,
I
Candy.
I think one of the main things that we got to talk about when it comes to NFL, which it was a very strange week in the NFL once again. Giants won a ball game. I guess that makes it incredibly strange. However, Malik
Against the
Neighbors
Chargers
is
too. So anyway.
yeah, Malik Neighbors is out for the season, and I just think there has to be a call for natural grass at MetLife. I don't know that it's possible everywhere else, but this is a place that is notorious for destroying people's knees. Like, you have to do better than this. And I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think there should be any turf within the NFL. They have plenty of dang money. They have plenty of money. And across the world, soccer shows you how to
To get it
incorporate
done.
turf and grass. Like, they show you how to get it done in places that grass doesn't grow. They put it underground or they roll it up and
Well,
they take it in.
They
Like,
roll it
they
over and pull it
literally,
up. Yes.
well,
Yes.
Arizona's in
there's
the
ways
same
to do
boat.
it.
Arizona is in the same boat, and they hosted the. I mean, if
They
you're
figure
gonna
it
be,
out.
I think they have. I mean,
Yeah.
I
They
feel like
have
they
no.
have.
They roll it out. They roll it out.
Yeah, they roll
Like,
it
I
out.
feel like
Yeah.
they made improvements, but
They have.
it took it that shouldn't be something. And I get it. It's pretty to paint on turf because it doesn't fade and doesn't show wear and tear. I get it.
Correct.
You
Right.
have enough
But
money to fix the wear and tear. It's different if we were talking about a high school or a college, but we're not. We're talking about professionals. And like I said, professionally all over the world in soccer, they figure it out in places that don't naturally keep grass year round. Figure it
Okay, well
out.
there's
You have the
wait.
money for it.
Now, Megan, in Texas, they got plenty of money at high school.
No, there's tons of turf there too, though. Uh,
But they got plenty of money in Texas for, for high school
oh, they do.
football.
I actually, I was lucky enough that my high school plays in one of the biggest stadiums in the state, one of the best
Yep.
stadiums in the state. So, I've seen it firsthand, and they take care of their grass. So if a high school team can do it, I am positive that an NFL team is full of it, saying it's not
Yes.
cost effective. I don't believe it.
That's just them not
That's
wanting
where I'm at with
to.
it.
Yeah.
Reform.
But this
Reform.
show's been about
Yes.
reform. Absolutely. We need to
Yes.
reform the the fans, especially in the United States, and how we present ourselves on the world stage. And even to neighbor, we need to reform the WNBA, and we need to reform the NFL and have them have it act real grass. Okay. Us chicks are going to get this thing solved, y'all.
We
Exactly.
are.
That's
We
yes.
are. We are. And then, as far as my own personal team, I don't mind a tie during the regular season. I just think that they need to make their overtime rules readily available for these players to understand what's going to happen. So, if you have to have extra practice and you got to pay them a little more for them to understand in-game action, because I understand looking at a screen, someone telling you the new rules, it doesn't always comprehend. I'm a visual learner. I play an instrument and I learn visually. So I can absolutely understand needing to see something visually, but make it to where these players know the overtime rules, or quit changing them every offseason.
Right. Well, and on top of that is that I think is pure coaching, because we know that from the interviews that Andy drills
Automatically.
in. Here's what happens if this happens, right? Like
Mhm.
He is
Andy prepares
excellent.
for,
He is excellent at that.
right. And that's
Jerry is
exposing.
not excellent at holding his coaches accountable, though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Jerry wants to be the circus master.
but here's my thing, because Andy is automatic. That's how we won the Super Bowl with San Francisco.
Mhm.
He is all about the what if this. And my thing is, these coaches get paid for a job. You
Mhm.
are Your players go by what you are coaching them. And there's no reason why. Yes, we have new rules, but guess what? When you have something new at your job and you have to learn it, you have to learn it, and you have to practice it, and
Mhm.
you have to try it. And so
Right.
I'm not holding so much the players accountable. I'm holding the coaches accountable, because why are you not at practice at least once or twice a week going, hey, what if this happens? We have a new
Right. I
rule
agree.
of a tie. What if this happens? What do we need to do, and how do we need to get there? And not so much waiting until, uh-oh, now what? Everybody's scrambling. You're a coach. You get paid well. You need to be able to
Mhm.
transition immediately to what's going to happen. If in overtime there's a possibility that you guys could tie because you've already got to overtime, come on. You're getting paid to know what to do.
Well, and
Agree.
then, um, and I'm going back to when in San Francisco. Well, we didn't know. Learn things on your own. I mean, if your coach isn't providing it, be a student of your profession.
Correct.
That's true too. I agree with
I
that
Correct.
too.
mean, don't be a meathead.
Everybody's adults in that situation.
You
Correct.
know, I have to be a student of my profession.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You know, I'm out there looking. AI is greatly impacting what we do in the privacy world. So
True.
I have to know,
So do
and
I.
either I can have someone spoon feed me and be behind the curve, or I can work to get it at least at the tip of the curve. So I understand what's coming down, what's happening real time, instead of, well, you should know this. You should have known this 6 months ago, but now we're going to tell you about it. No, no,
No.
I gotta be a student of my profession. I would hope as a professional athlete, you're not thinking that the gym is the only place you have to be a student. You know, you need to be a student of your profession.
So yeah, very true.
Ooh. So drafting players with high IQ for their sport is important.
Well, I
Jerry,
also think I
Jerry.
use What?
I'm talking to you, Jerry.
Yeah. It's like, what? What?
He
But
Life
gets
you
was
know
me
what?
quite
hell
raining
every year,
earlier
You
today.
y'all.
know what? But and I do want to say this because I don't know the update on Tyreek Hill, but I you know what? I'm praying that he is okay because that looked really nasty.
So
So I don't know what the update is on him.
torn, there was
Bad.
no ligament. It's bad. It was really bad. Probably one of
Hmm.
the most gruesome,
It was
minus
the same
Alex
as
Smith.
Nick Chubb's.
Yeah.
It was the same as Nick Chubb's. So it
Yeah.
was
Like
bad. It's really
they,
bad.
unfortunately, I was watching, and even when they flashed to where he was in a wheelchair, they had everything in a huge brace from his ankle to his thigh, on
Hmm.
top of his thigh. They had someone holding
Holding his lip. Yeah,
his
I saw that part.
yeah, because there was nothing connecting the top and bottom.
Well,
Everything was trashed.
I didn't
Ugh,
actually see it, and I haven't went back to see it. All I
don't.
saw was
No,
when
no,
they
it's
were
Don't.
bad.
wheeling him out. I don't want to. I don't want
Yeah.
to because I know it's gonna make me. Yeah, but just prayers to him because I mean, yeah, he's a great player. So
Maybe he has time to visit all of his kids now.
That's hilarious. All right, we're going to end it on that note because we went 15 minutes over, and that was a moment, I feel like. So, all right, guys, we'll see y'all next week. So, Jen and I will both be at ACC tip off next week. So, we will have some updates from tip off, be able to talk about
mm,
that a little bit, and we will see y'all next week, same time. Thank y'all so
see
much
you
for
later.
watching and commenting. Appreciate
We
y'all.
love y'all. Thank you.
Love you.